Ladies and gentlemen, who's the canine who travels through time? Hey! Peabody. Who's the hound who got the Trojans to horse around?
No! I did not see that coming.
Peabody. Who's the doggy with style that makes Mona Lisa smile?
That's the fakest smile!
Peabody. Who's the only mutt that can get King Tut to shake his butt?
It's awkward.
DreamWorks, Mr. Peabody and Sherman.
Fist bump.
That's my dog.
Peabody.
See it in cinemas Friday.
Hello, I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. A cartoon which I can faintly recall seeing as a child is Mr. Peabody's Improbable History. While certainly low-budget, campy, and outdated, the cartoon has certain charm to it, some might say because of those qualities I just mentioned. With that in mind, doing a feature-length update of the 60s shorts would be difficult, but Hollywood did it anyway. Does Mr. Peabody and Sherman do its source material justice, or is it just a sign that Hollywood is running out of ideas? In my opinion, it's the former. Directed by Rob Minkoff of Lion King fame, Mr. Peabody and Sherman stars Ty Burrell and Max Charles as the title characters. Peabody is a genius dog who never had a family, and hopes to fill that gap in his life by adopting a boy. That boy is Sherman, a dim-witted but well-meaning young boy who gets in trouble with a girl at school, Penny, played by Ariel Winter. This causes a child services agent, played by Allison Janney, to threaten to revoke Peabody's custody of Sherman if the situation is not corrected. So Peabody tries to fix things by having Sherman and Penny play together, but things only get worse when they use Peabody's time machine, the Wayback, and muck up history, like in every single time travel movie ever made. So as you can tell from that long-winded summary, the plot of this movie is kinda complicated. Not only do we have all the Bill and Ted style time travel hijinks, but also the relationship between Peabody and Sherman, the budding friendship, not romance, between Penny and Sherman, and the adoption debacle. The movie manages to balance all this by having a more episodic plot rather than a more flowing narrative. Not to say there isn't a cohesive story here, there is, but the movie just kind of separates the subplots into like 15 to 20 minute vignettes, which allows for the audience, especially kids, to follow what's going on more easily. Despite the age of the source material, the movie does retain a lot of the elements of the original cartoon. The characters' personalities are well preserved, and they even keep in the awful puns. In fact, the opening of this movie is basically a big-budget version of one of the original shorts, which serves as a nice bit of nostalgia for fans and a good introduction for newcomers. The movie also takes into account the silliness of the source material, and it is very self-aware about it, having Peabody sometimes act like an actual dog, which is very clever. The characters in this movie generate a lot of really good laughs and a lot of heart. Ty Burrell manages to capture Peabody's sarcastic wit and deadpan delivery, appropriate as he is basically playing the original Brian Griffin. And I don't just mean Peabody resembles Brian, but in that he reminds me of Brian in the early years of the show, but before he became the insufferable, self-centered douche he's become. And also he wears a bow tie. Bow ties are cool. Max Charles plays Sherman as a wide-eyed innocent, and the character is written to avoid being an annoying hindrance on the plot. They really focus on the parental relationship with him and Peabody, which gives a lot of the movie its heart, and it results in a pretty nice resolution that has a good message about embracing all different kinds of families. The rest of the characters are pretty funny too. Ariel Winter plays Penny as a spoiled brat who learns to be nice over the course of the movie. Leslie Mann and Stephen Colbert play her parents, who are entertaining despite their limited roles. Allison Janney is always funny, and especially when she's playing the villain here. And the casting of all the historical figures is pretty clever. Just to name a few, we have Stanley Tucci as Leonardo da Vinci, Patrick Warburton as Agamemnon, and Mel Brooks has a cameo as Einstein. Yeah, they're all just about as funny as they sound. Overall, I give Mr. Peabody and Sherman a high big screen rating for fans of the original. For them, I think it'll serve as a fun, nostalgia-fueled ride. For non-fans, I still give it a low big screen, especially if you have kids. I'm the Universal Critic. I talk about whatever I want, whenever I want. Goodbye.